Hello there, in this video we're going to focus on the line chart and header section for our designs, so let's go. Okay, welcome back to the file. So just before we start designing out our new elements for this video, I just wanted to circle back and just note a change that I made to the grid. So as you can see, we've got our grid system here at the top. It spans the entire viewport and it includes the side nav. And that's what I've done in the first instance, but actually it started to cause a few layout issues and inconsistent spacing. So instead, what I'm going to do is the sidebar is just going to be part of the page structure, and the grid, which I've now set out here, is going to be for laying out the content, and that will be inside this container here. So removing the sidebar from the grid, it becomes more predictable, the spacing's consistent, and the layout is just going to be easier to scale and change later if we need to. So as you can see, I've updated it here on our grids page as well. I don't think anything else has changed. I think it's a good change, and it's definitely going to help us scale out our designs as we build them out further. Okay, so let me just go back up here and let's go into our wireframes page. So I think for this video we were going to start off by looking at the header section. So it's going to have title, description, it's going to have some actions in here as well, which you can see the annotations here and just here. And then once we've done that, we're going to move on to the line chart, which sits right here. Okay, so let's delete out these older grids that we don't need here. Okay, and we can just leave these here. Okay, let me just press Shift G and let's just go in and let's start by just Shift. Let's just drag that down for the moment because we need to add in a header section. So Shift G again, F for frame. Let's just draw out something rough to begin with. Okay, that's snapped there. Let's press Command R. Let's rename that to header. And let me just grab any old text for now, and let's just go in and update that to our header. So in the typography, our H1 is 32 pixels, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we'll just update the color to 900. Okay, so that should be our heading, or our header, whatever we're going to call it. Okay, now I'm jumping around a little bit here, but I know beneath the header we had a description section, so let's just go back again. Let's add a description section in there. So let's just steal that one now. Let's just write description for the moment. Okay, so what I'll do for the heading is let's just put performance overview. And for the description, I've just got something from AI, so we can just use this. Track key metrics and understand how your store is performing over time. So I think that works really well. This can go inside a container, I think, for now, or even just something called content. That should do. Let's go back into there. Let's apply some spacing variables. Let's just tighten that up. So we've got 4 between, and we'll zero out everything else. Let's just Shift A on this header section. Let's just Shift G. A lot of shortcuts today. Let's just drag that out to the grid. Okay, on the header I want it to hug, which I think it is. Okay, that's good. I want to change the padding though, so that can be 16, and let me just zero that out for a moment. Okay, I'm just going to change my mind about that. Let's just update that to 0 so it stretches out to the full grid, the full container. Okay, next of all, we're going to need buttons from memory. So back to the wireframes up here. So we've got a filter, so it's going to show the date range clearly. And let's have a look. And then we've got some primary actions. So for the primary action, let's just go with export for now. I think that'll be fine. Okay, let's go back to the page. Now, one thing we don't have is buttons. So we've got navigation, the overview statistics. Obviously these are our working designs as we're going along. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat a little bit, and it's not really cheating. So I'm going to go into my UI kit from a previous video series called Design from Scratch, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these buttons and I'm going to apply the new variables in our new project, update the colors, and then we can use them in this project. So I don't think I need to tell you how to go and make buttons, but if you need to know how to make buttons, I'm going to link a card above to the related video where we created these buttons in Design from scratch. So yeah, give me 2 minutes. I'm going to update these buttons and they're going to be in our new dashboard style. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, welcome back to the file. So I've gone across these buttons, I've applied our new color styles. So when we go in here, it's going to have the relevant primary, secondary, whatever the color is, applied to these buttons. Okay, so I'm going to just take an instance of the primary. Let's go back into our dashboard design here. Let me just paste it in. What we're going to need to do is I need to do the content set to hug. I need to change the overall header to an auto layout that's horizontal. I'm now going to double click here so it's aligned centered and it's pushing those elements out. We just select the button, Shift A, Command R, just call these actions for now. We can wrap those in an auto layout. Let's just duplicate the button again, but the actions again, I want it to be horizontal. I want it to hug. Okay, so I think the first one, let's do the primary, so that's going to be export. So we'll leave that there. Now this one, we really need it to be secondary, so that's our secondary style, and I think what we're going to do is put in a date range. Okay, what I'll do, let me just paste in a date range that I've made up for now. That should be okay. What I would quite like to do, let me just go to the button, let's add the suffix icon. So let's make it really clear that this is the date range. Let's go back into our icons, which is here. We're using feather icons, so let's go into feather icons. Let's add a calendar icon in, and let's use that as a signifier on that button. So let's go in here, paste, K on the keyboard, hold shift, let's drag that up. Let's apply the right color, so neutral 800. Okay, that looks good. Command Option K, create it as a component. Now let's go back to our components. Okay, so if I go inside the button, I go to the chevron and click on the drop down. Let's change that to calendar. And there we go, that's done. Let's just remove the menus for the moment. Let's bring this element back up. So holding shift, let's just drag that back up a little bit. I guess for now we can set it to 20, but we can always change it as we go. So there we go, Shift G. Let's just take a copy of this. Let's pop it in here. And let's just move around a couple of things. So Shift G. Okay, those two are in. Let's just remove the menus, have a quick look. So yeah, header, description, a primary action there, and then the ability to change the date that we're currently filtering the dashboard to. Right, okay, let's go back up to wireframes. Let's go in here and let's just take a copy of, I think it was the line chart is what we're after. Okay, let me just unlock annotations, take a copy of this, go back to components. Okay, let's paste that in and we get the annotation as well, which is useful. Okay, so let's start by just drawing out a frame for our component. And for now, let's just name this charts. Okay, so let's just draw out roughly what we want. Let's just give us a bit more space. Okay, so to begin with, we've got a header, so it's going to be revenue over time. Let's just apply some typography variables. Okay, there we go, so 16 pixels. What do we need next? So we're going to need a legend as well. Let's have a look, let's draw out the legend. So it's Option, click and drag, and let's just put placeholder for the moment. Okay, let's adjust the variables. Okay, so now we've got that. Let's just draw out an ellipse. So there we go, ellipse. Let's draw something out. Let's do 8 by 8. Select both of these, Shift A. They're both aligned centrally, so that's good. Okay, let me just rename that to container for the moment. Let me just duplicate this out one more time. Let's just select both, Shift A, Command R, and let's rename this to, let's just do underscore legend for now. Okay, let me just steal a placeholder from here. Let's just change it to semi-bold and let's just update that to legend. Okay, let me just rename these to items. Maybe that's slightly better instead of containers. Okay, so Command Option K. Let's just drag a copy of this up and let's just roughly mock it out for the moment. So me drag this. Okay, so we've got our title, we've got our legend. Let's go on to using the axis. So let me just move these down even further so we've got plenty of space for this. So let's do the X first. Okay, so the X running along the bottom, we don't have a huge amount of space, but we do have a date range that's applied. So let's stick to that for the visuals. So we've got 1st to the 14th, 1st of April 1st. Okay, what I'll do, let me just Shift A on these, rename it to X axis. Okay, so we can't include all of the dates, so I will skip a few days as we go. The reason I'm doing this is you just can't cram it all in on this chart unless it's a huge chart. Let's spread those out a bit more. So set that to auto. Let's give some horizontal padding. So is that going to be enough? 4? Let's maybe go with 12 for now. Let's just Command Option. Well, actually, let me just apply these variables. So we'll zero those out. Command Option K. That's the X. Let me Option click and drag. Bring this up. So that will be, again, just roughly mocking it out. That's going to be the x-axis there. Okay, let's do the y. Okay, I can just steal this for now. Let's detach it. So Command R. Let's rename it to y. Okay, we're going to change that to a vertical layout. Let's double click there. Okay, so again, probably going to set that to auto. Let's zero that out and let's apply the 12 there. Let's just pull that out a tiny bit more. Okay, we'll do that for now. Let's just do Command Option K. Let's take a copy, Option click, and let's drag it. Just very loosely space this out for now. It's not 100% correct yet, but we're just spacing our elements out. Okay, before we continue the y-axis, let me just go up here. Oh, where is it? Okay, so the heading is revenue over time. We're going to need to display revenue, so it's not going to be dates on the y-axis. Let's go ahead and update this. So we'll start at 0 and then we'll slowly scale from there. Okay, hopefully that's reflected. Yep, that's good. Okay, next what we're going to need is we're going to need these lines. So this is going to be a line chart from memory, isn't it? Yeah, line chart. So let's go ahead, let's update this. Actually, I'm going to use a plugin for this. So there it is, chart line. Let's go ahead and let's customize it. So we've got how many points we need, the slope, the smoothing. I'm just going to mess around with the slope. So let's just do that for now. Yeah, let's stick with that. I think that looks good. So add chart line. Okay, there we go, there's one. I want to add another one as well. Let's just change that slope slightly, kind of level it off a bit. Add chart line. So at the moment these just look like squiggly lines, but let's try and map these a bit more. Okay, there we go. They should be together now. Let's just group these together. Command G, just for the moment. Let's rename these. Let's give these a proper color. So let's go into our primary. Let's set that to 300. Line 2 can be our secondary. So that can be that 300. So now we've got some different colors on our lines. Okay, let's Command R, let's do chart lines, Command Option K, that's now a component. Let's just put this up here, that's an instance. Okay, I've just readjusted this slightly, so got the component, got the container, then got the lines. Let's just go ahead, delete that, go in here, Option click and drag, and okay, yeah, that's kind of roughly how we want it. I think that'll be okay. Again, not perfect, but we're just mocking it up for the moment. Okay, so let's do 1 as the selected period, 1 as the previous, and let's just select the ellipse, get the eyedropper, hold shift, click. Let's do the same here, so eyedropper, shift, click. That uses our color variable, which is good. Okay, so we've got all the parts that we need to make the line chart. What I need to do now is really put it into a container that we can then surface and put onto the dashboard. Let's just draw out a container for the moment. Let's just drag that in here. I guess for the moment I'm just going to add a slight color to it because I can't see it. Okay, so that's a rough container that I can use for now. So let's just rename that to line chart. Let's just grab this heading, let's pop it in here, Let's grab this legend. Let's also pop it in here. I'm going to just Shift A on both of these, and I'm going to rename this header. And let me just Shift A on this entire thing. Let me just bring that back out to those dimensions. Okay, so the header, let's just do 8 between. Let's 0 everything else out. I think that can be set to fill. That's fine. It's also set to, yeah, hug on the heights. That's good. Okay, so I've added the y-axis. I actually want to just Shift A on it. Command R, make it a container. And that will sit beneath the header. Let's make that fill, and it's set to hug as well, so that's fine. Okay, let me just draw out another frame. Let's Command R, and let's name it content for the moment. Let's Shift A, set it to fill. Gonna manually just crank this so I can see it. Make sure that aligns to the bottom just for the moment. Okay, let's go ahead and steal this. Let's pop it in there. Set it to fill for now. Just go in here, take the lines. Just pop those out so it reaches the edge of the container. It's going to be a bit of a mess, but that's fine. Just kind of placing the elements. Okay, so we're getting there. It's getting closer. Fill container. Let's check where our graph lines are. Do you know what? I don't even think that is a component. Let me just check. Okay, let's just make the chart lines a component. Okay, I've just stretched out those chart lines so they fit a bit better. X-axis. Okay, the axis is beneath. Let's just rename that container just for the moment. Okay, let's drag the entire thing up to the top and let's keep working. Okay, so for the overall, let me just 0 out the spacing. Let's give it a corner radius as well of 8. Okay, so let's just work through the different levels. So the overall line chart, okay, we're good. Variables set. Header, variables have been set. Container. Okay, we haven't set variables. Let's 0 these out. Okay, there we go. So the container needs to be set to fill. That's better. Okay, y-axis set to fill. Yeah, set to hug. Auto. 12 pixels above and below. Okay, so vertical padding 12. Horizontal 0. Okay, we're good. All right, next up into the content. Okay, so on the container, let's set the space between to 12. Let's 0 out the padding. Okay, then we've got our chart lines, then we've got our x-axis, and that is set to fill, set to hug. I think overall, let me just change the fill to neutral 0. Just double check all the colors as well. So yeah, we've got the right selection of colors. Okay, so line chart, Command Option K. Okay, so we've got all our elements there. Let me just Option click and drag. Let's just see how it looks on the dashboard. And let's just bring it over. Let me just Shift G. And let's go ahead and place it, yeah, about there. So 20 there, 20 there. So we've got good spacing. Snaps to the grid. Shift G so we can actually see the thing. Let's just Command / to get rid of the menus. So yeah, that's a good addition. So we've got our line chart in there. Okay, let's just pop that over there. Let me get my menus back. Command /. All right, let's Shift G. Let's move it into the right position. So about there, so 20 pixels, 20 pixels. Let's just stretch that out a bit more. Okay, so something I've just done, because every time I pulled the chart out, the actual lines weren't scaling with us. So I've gone in, I have flattened these lines, and then I've then set the chart lines to have an auto layout. So that should work. I think it's set to, let me go up here, I think that's now set to fill. Yeah, and the lines, yeah, they're also set to fill. So that responds responsively now when I drag the chart out, which is exactly what I wanted. Okay, let's see, we're snapped into the grids. We have got the right padding, and yeah, I think we're good. Shift G, Command /. Let's just take a look at what we've done. Okay, looks good so far. Looks good on the collapse navigation as well. So yeah, it looks good for now. We can always chop and change things a little bit later. I might actually move that down ever so slightly for now, just to give it a bit more space from the top section. So if I do the same on here. Okay, so I think we're done in terms of the line chart. Let me just have a look. So we didn't bother with the subheading, but to be honest, I think as we've gone along, we've got the context of what you're filtered by for the entire dashboard up here, so you can clearly see the date range. I just don't think we need to add that subheading for now. I think it's okay. And also here I've put last 30 days. It's not. All the dashboard elements are actually going to respond to what you're filtering up here in the top right hand corner. So a small change there, but worth noting. Okay, what I want to do now is I just want to tidy up this page, tidy up the frames, and tidy up the components so we've got it similar to how we have these other elements up here. So give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to the file. So as you can see, we've tidied up our line chart. We've got the component at the top, the chart lines, the X and Y axis, and then the legend down here. So yeah, looking good so far. All right, let's go back up to our wireframes and see what to do next. Okay, so the line chart is done, so that's really good. Let's go ahead and look at the next component. So that is going to be the traffic overview. So it's traffic by source. So things like organic, PPC, social, email, and direct, and it's going to be a donut chart. So yeah, in the next video, let's focus and build out our donut chart further. Okay, that's it for this video. Thanks for getting to the end. So like, subscribe, all the things, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, so well done for getting to the end. I have found, what have we found? Well, apparently I'm rich because I have £300 in Monopoly money, and I've found what looks to be Elton John's glasses. There's no chance I'm putting those on because it'll be on the internet forever. Anyway, a nice quiet start to the day. It's peaceful other than the pigeons making a load of noise. So yeah, time for breakfast. So have a great day, whatever you're doing. Like, subscribe, all the usual stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.
Like this. Are you ready for it? Switch. Are you ready?